I'm Sarah Jensen, editor of OEM Off Highway, and today I'm speaking with Tom Hansen, Senior Director of OEM Development at TopCon. Thank you for joining me today. And we just wanted to have a little bit of a discussion about what are some of the big industry trends you're currently seeing.
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning. It's great to be back out again and seeing customers and at a show. And there's lots of opportunities growing across the globe right now, and I think everyone's excited to kind of get started again. You know, we've been all locked down for a while, and it's definitely time to get focused and let's keep going.
Agreed.
So yeah, in the industry itself, we are seeing a lot of changes. The last 10 years have seen significant changes when you take a look at automation and the things that have been happening with construction equipment and mining equipment, where you previously had many years of training for operators and things like that to get them to a very productive level. You're seeing turnover now. A lot of those operators are starting to retire. You've got a younger group coming in, maybe haven't gone through the trade schools or had some of the schooling that previously was experienced in the industry. And the nice thing is machine control and other products like that have come in, added some automation or semi-autonomous, bringing capabilities that didn't exist before, and allowing you to get better accuracies, improve your operators' capabilities at a very rapid rate. When you take a look at machine control systems, such as the TopCon systems, we're able to take a good operator and make them a great operator in a very short period of time. And a lot of these new operators coming out, younger generation, grew up with video games.
Right.
So all of a sudden you've got products in the cab. They're able to touch screens, take a look at 3D models, make improvements on what they're doing, and really follow what's being requested on the screen, as well as learn to manipulate and operate that machine more effectively.
Okay. And so what are maybe some of the ways you're seeing equipment being automated or things of that sort?
Well, we're seeing it in all different industries in the construction as well as mining area. If you take a look at asphalt, say the paving industry, you've got an entire area now where you've got not only 2D, which could be using sonic or laser type systems, but now you've got 3D and millimeter level accuracies, not only in milling, but in the paving itself. And then also you've got intelligent compaction coming online afterwards to make sure that you've compacted that asphalt down, get a much better surface that lasts a lot longer, and really good return on investment, not only for the contractor, but for the taxpayers that are paying for those roads.
Right.
They last longer, they're built better, all of those things in that area. If you take a look at general construction, say grading, things like that, you have opportunities now where a customer with a grade control system on his bulldozer is able to get to grade much quicker. So you go from maybe 5 passes down to 2. So the return on investment for the contractor is gigantic because he gets to grade much quicker. He's utilizing less fuel. He's getting more out of his operator. On top of that, if you take a look for the industry itself, you got lower emissions. That machine's running half the time that it did before and doing the same amount of work. That's a great return for everybody involved. And then the people who own the job sites and stuff, they're getting a great return on investment because it helps you, one, get to grade faster, get your jobs done quicker and more accurately. And then also at the end, you end up with a 3D model, which gives you an as-built showing where everything is. If they were trenching and putting in pipe, you know exactly where that is. If you've been to any of the older cities, say in the States or overseas, and they're looking around for a gas line, it can be an interesting thing to watch happen. You know, they're kind of digging around, they think it's here, it might be there, no, that's not it, oh, we cut a telephone line. In the future, with the 3D modeling and the as-builts, you know exactly where something is within that centimeter level of accuracy, which for future upgrades, for having to do replacements, if something were to break, you can get to it much quicker, much more efficiently.
Are there any specific technologies that you're seeing that are helping enable automation or that are maybe still needed to help it further along?
So if you take a look at where we are in the industry right now, say with, for example, just taking a look at excavators. So a number of years ago, there was laser systems that you would use on that excavator, and you would have potentially a guy in the hole who was with a stick and monitoring, and when he hit, it would make a noise, let him know that he was on grade.
Right.
And that would give him the ability to do essentially a good grade and put in some sort of percentage of slope and things like that. Now we've gone from that all the way up to automation in the cab itself, where that last pull, the machine's taking care of it along with the system, and the operator is getting perfect accuracy every single time. That allows him to move quicker on the jobs that he's doing, gives him that 3D model, and now you're seeing that excavator, they're doing more and more with it, because now you can almost do a final grade. And when you take a look globally at the excavator market, take a look in the Far East, Japan, take a look at Europe, excavators are used for everything. In the United States, we're seeing that too. It's being used in more and more applications. And machine control, such as a Topcon X53X system that would go on that excavator, is making it so much more productive.
Okay, all right. And so what are maybe some of the challenges or opportunities you're seeing currently with autonomous or vehicle development or system development? And
well, one of the challenges you're seeing in the industry is industry adoption. We're still, I wouldn't say we're early in it. It's not early adopters, but it's not widespread. With a lot of the OEMs that Topcon does business with, they have integrated systems that come from the factory that utilize Topcon technology in the background. But that's only on new machine sales.
right,
You have all the existing machines that have been in the market for how many years, and a lot of customers, they'll keep their machines 5-10 years. It's a pretty significant investment when you originally buy that bulldozer, that motor grader.
right,
But you're able to upgrade those now. One of the challenges I think we're seeing is hoping to have a faster adoption. When you take a look at infrastructure, whether it's in the United States or globally, you've got a huge amount of infrastructure that needs to be done due to the population growth.
right,
You take a look at other things like climate change and stuff like that. A lot of work needs to be taken care of, but there's a limited amount of resources and money to pursue that. Well, the gap is gigantic, but you can shrink that gap with a better adoption of machine control on those machines, because it allows you to do things quicker and more cost effectively. You're able to get that operator to become better at what he does. And bottom line, everyone's winning in a situation like that.
Okay. So what are maybe some applications you see maybe best benefiting from autonomy?
When you take a look at applications, when you go to rough grading and fine grading on a job site, say for just building a road, whether you're replacing an interstate or something like that, being able to get the grade quicker and being very accurate to grade, so you're utilizing less aggregate and things like that, it keeps the costs down. It allows that contractor to get more money in the bottom line, keep in his pocket, which is not always an easy thing. If you're off grade, you're going to have to make it up somehow.
Right.
So you're seeing situations like that occur. If you take a look on the paving side, Topcon has systems for milling that allows you to, a road goes like this, you want to mill it down. Well, if you just mill the road based on this, you're taking off 1 inch or 2 inches of material, but it's still got the bumps in it. Now you're able to take this and you're able to mill to a flat surface, so that when you go back and you pave, it's a much simpler process. You're getting a better product in the end for that customer, and you just haven't made a smoother upside road that goes up and down. You've actually made a smooth road.
Okay.
So that makes a lot of difference long term. And things like that help reduce costs, for trucking. Roads that are difficult to drive on or have lots of ups and downs, you get more wear and tear on trucks. That costs trucking firms money. On your own personal car, you start getting potholes and stuff because that road wasn't milled and paved right. That costs you money with blown tires and wear and tear on your vehicle, all the things you want to have not happen.
Right.
So paving's a big area that we're seeing a lot of growth in right now.
Okay.
And a lot of look at the state and federal level as to how can you make those roads better. I can say that Topcon has a full range of products in our smooth ride process that allows that contractor, that state agency, to create a wonderful product at the end.
Okay. And so maybe just kind of the last question I have is how far along do you maybe see full autonomy entering at least some applications or some aspects of the industry, or is it still very far out?
It's not very far out. If you take a look right now, the technology exists. There's some things holding that up, moving to those levels. It's going to get there. Agriculture will probably go first
Okay.
because you're talking about, agriculture is essentially manufacturing too.
Right.
It's repeatable manufacturing, and usually there's not a lot of people in the
Yes.
middle of a cornfield.
Right.
So being able to do automation there is a little easier. When you take a look at construction job sites, there's a lot more people,
Hmm.
other machines, a lot of opportunities that could create challenges on those job sites. We're seeing the ability, TopCon and other industry leaders are creating new sensor packages and things that are reducing the cost to create the capability for those machines to be able to monitor what's going on around them, have the safety systems built in so that we can move forward with automation on job sites.
Hmm.
It's not going to happen tomorrow,
Right.
but it's really not that far away.
Okay.
And some of there's going to be some discussions regarding liability and legislation that is probably going to have
Yeah.
to happen, but I think we'll get there because the end product overall for all of us being able to automate more job sites, especially job sites and mining sites. We're at MINExpo after all.
Right.
You're seeing that already.
Yeah.
There's going to be more and more of that there because these are very remote locations and often very dangerous applications. So we're going to see more and more of that occur here in the future and very soon.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today and provide some insights into automation technology and what you're seeing happening in the industry.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time with you at the show here today.